All right, Scorpio, here we go. This message is for you. We are looking at how to deepen love for Scorpio, okay? So this is, if you're in a relationship, how do you deepen the love within that relationship? If you are not in a relationship, how do you, what things do you need to look at in order to really attract the ideal partner and then keep them, right? So when you are, wanting a partner, seeking a partner, if you're in that dating game, or, you really have to be aware of your own blocks and your own patterning in order to, attract someone that can meet you in that same place of being aware of their own love blocks as well, right? So, partnership is like the best way to really learn about these things, but working on yourself, if you're, looking to attract a partner, working on yourself is like going to be the best way to attract a partner, because whatever is going on within you is reflected into your outer world, right? And so people will come in that mirror your energy back to you. So it's really important to be very conscious in these relationships, okay? Okay. Yeah, and same if you are partnered up already, it's important to be aware of your own blocks, because we don't want to get into a pattern of, blaming all of the problems on your partner and not recognizing your own behaviors or your own thoughts and beliefs that contribute to, whatever challenges might come up. Okay? All right. So for you, Scorpio, how does Scorpio deepen their love? We have the Nine of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Five of Wands. So, okay. So I am getting a hit of neediness, okay? That is what's coming through with this Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is an energy of, independence, right? It's somebody who's very independent, who's very comfortable in their own skin, who does not need someone to feel good about themselves. Like they've created that space where they can meet their own needs, okay? But the shadow energy of this would be somebody who is seeking another person to feel good about themselves, right? So it's funny because this is exactly, what I was thinking about as I was pulling the cards is a lot of times we seek out relationship because we think that it's going to fill some void within us, right? The problem is, and oftentimes it will, or not necessarily fill a void, but it will enhance, right? And that's what you're really looking for. You're looking to be in a position of loving yourself intensely, of meeting all of your own needs, of, feeling happy and content with life, regardless of whether you have a partner or not, right? And, really being that in that space of just like life is good. I don't need to have somebody to make life good. Do I want it? Yes, but do I need it? No. Okay. And that's what I'm talking about like, this neediness, right? If you're kind of entering into relationship, or you are in relationship with this idea or belief that, your partner has to satisfy all of these needs for you, or, then you're setting yourself up for disappointment, okay? But when you enter into relationship, or when you are in relationship, in this energy of being fulfilled on your own, then a partner can come forward and just enhance that feeling, right? And just like, level that feeling up, right? And that's very different from coming in with a neediness and expecting your partner to drain from his energy in order to fill you up, right? Because you're not showing up whole. Yeah. So this is a very important message, okay? Scorpio, and I feel like for you that you might have a tendency to look to your partner to fill you up, to meet all your needs. And that is not the greatest place to be, okay? Now, because what happens is like you're kind of like you're operating almost from a place of lack, right? And instead of two people entering into relationship whole, right? Knowing their own wholeness, having united their own masculine and feminine within themselves, and then they come together and they share equally, right? When their cups are full, and so when they give to another, they're giving from an overflow, right? So it's not depleting them, right? Whereas if you enter in or you come in and you're not whole, you're not full, and you're asking your partner to fill you up, there's a real imbalance there. And so the Six of Pentacles, it's the Six of Pentacles is equal give and take. It's reciprocity. Okay? Equal give and take. It's when you both come into a relationship full, then you can both give from the overflow and neither of you will feel depleted. Okay? And it's equal. It's balanced, right? So that doesn't mean that you have to show up full all the time, right? It means that sometimes you might need a little bit extra, and your partner can sustain you for a bit, right? Till you get back on your feet, can give you that little bit of extra, can show up for you in that way, right? But then it also means that the next time your partner may not be feeling tip-top shape or totally full, you can show up for your partner, right? And provide that fill from your overflow. Okay? So there's this flow, and it's like this very much this equal give and take, but you cannot show up needy. You cannot show up thinking that your partner is there to fulfill all your needs and you're not doing any of that for yourself, and then you're also not giving that back in return. Okay, so really how to deepen love for you, Scorpio, is to show up in a place where you're already fulfilled, you're already meeting your own needs, right? You're not looking to somebody else to fill some void that you might have. Okay, you're already whole, you're working on yourself, and that doesn't mean you have to show up perfect, but you have to show up in the process at least. Okay, this realization for you is really going to shoot you forward to the next level. I feel like that this, like, showing up with this idea of you're already whole and you don't need another person to, fulfill any void for you because you can do that yourself. I feel like this is really going to bring relationship to a whole new level for you. This realization, is just really going to just bring a lot of balance, a lot of momentum, a lot of passion. And I feel like this, the Five of Wands showing up here is like misdirected energy. And I feel like this may be what is happening for you right now, is that like there's a lot of misdirected energy, meaning there's a lot of energy that goes into like this petty fighting, petty arguments, petty neediness, or whatever. Like just this energy is being you know, directed into these petty things that don't really matter. And then once you start showing up with like, okay, you're going to meet your own needs, you're going to fulfill yourself, you're going to live life to the fullest on your terms, and then you bring that energy into partnership, it's like these petty, your energy is no longer being directed to these petty, you know, grievances within a relationship, right? Like all of these petty grievances that you might have like, oh, he doesn't, you know, he doesn't ever like say nice things to me, or he doesn't like bring me flowers once in a while. You know what? You say nice things to yourself, you go and bring yourself flowers, and then all of that misdirected attention or energy into these petty grievances instead go into building a much more reciprocal, a much more balanced, a much more deepened relationship, because you're not wasting time on these petty grievances because they're unimportant. You realize how unimportant they are because you're already fulfilled. Like you don't need these little gestures to make you feel worthy, because you already feel worthy. Okay? And so really, for you right now, the advice for deepening love within your relationship is just really work on yourself. Like really get to that place of like you feel really good about yourself. You feel fulfilled, you feel accomplished, you realize your divinity. You just feel really good about yourself on your own terms, right? You make these things happen for yourself. You're not looking towards someone to make you feel that way. Okay? All right. That's the message for you, Scorpio. Have a good one. Love you lots. Bye-bye.